one of the critiques on the on the creation model is that it doesn't present in terms of, not that it isn't. It's not a critique in terms of veracity. It's a critique in terms of whether it falls into science. So
methodology.
So things can be true, but not necessarily scientific. And even Richard Dawkins was willing to concede and admit that. But within science, there is a mechanism that can make predictions, and then there is also falsifiability. And I haven't been able to, when I tried to address that, I wasn't able to get an exact answer from someone at Discovery. Not that they couldn't provide an answer, but it just in the time frame when we were talking to them. So I don't know if that's something that you care to address or can address.
Well, that's actually one of the things that's discussed in our opening room there, is the idea of falsifiability. So the example we showed there is Big Bang theory. According to the Big Bang, there isn't enough matter and energy in the universe to account for the nature of the universe. So scientists came up with the idea that there is dark matter and dark energy, that 90% of the universe is invisible. Now that is an intriguing wrinkle to the Big Bang, but it is just a proposition or a faith. It is not. Technically, the Big Bang has been falsified because they can't find enough matter and energy to account for the structure of the universe. But they're not going to let go of the theory because it explains so many other things. They're more willing to say, let's hold on to the theory because someday we'll figure out what dark matter and dark energy is. And I think both sides are guilty of that. Guilty is the wrong word. Both sides operate that way. There are things we don't understand, and we trust that if we pursue our model, we'll understand them at some point. So I see no difference between creation and evolution in that regard. We both believe that our beliefs can be falsified or proven wrong, but they haven't been proven wrong yet.
Well, what would the falsifiability of the observational falsifiability be for the creationist model?
Well, you have to look in detail, not in the overall scope of things. You obviously couldn't prove that God doesn't exist because that's kind of too big a job. But if you look at a particular thing in creation, for example, creationists would say that there are a finite number of species in the world because all of them were developed from a finite number of kinds. Evolution would suggest that the number of species and kinds should be changing over time. So one way to falsify biological evolution is, do we see new varieties developing? And as far as I can tell, we don't. We have, mammals and reptiles and birds and fish. We don't see some new thing like a creature that can fly in space, developing from birds, for example. But that's what evolution seems to predict.
And as far as a predictable mechanism, what predictions can you make from the creation model as far as things that...
Well, just speaking in biology again, you could predict that there are a finite number of species and kinds, genera, and that over time we should see extinction but no development of new things. And in fact, that's what we observe in life sciences, is that there is extinction happening over time, nothing new developing. So a prediction of the creation model biologically in that area would be that we're not going to see any new creatures developing and that we're going to see extinction over time.
Thank you for providing the most articulate response to those questions. I really appreciate that.
Good.
Genuinely,
Right.
I'm appreciative.